If you are a sensitive, thoughtful, and empathetic person, you may often see other people treating you badly, judging you, or subjecting you to unfair treatment as your own fault. You may think, so I must have done something wrong. Of course, everyone makes mistakes. But this video isn't about your mistakes. Because no matter how well-intentioned you are, if the people around you are jealous of you, you may unknowingly blame yourself. To avoid falling into this trap and protect yourself, we need to learn to interpret certain behaviors correctly. If you're ready, let's begin. First, let me say this. Jealousy is a fact of life. Just because someone is jealous of you doesn't mean they are always a bad person. The important point here is this. If someone's unfair, hurtful, and destructive behavior towards you stems from jealousy, you need to learn not to take it seriously and to protect yourself. Because jealousy is a very common emotion. A sibling can be jealous of their sibling, a mother of her child, a father of his child, a friend of their friend, a neighbor of their neighbor. This emotion exists to some extent in everyone. Our goal is not to blame anyone. It is to not wear ourselves down. So how do people who secretly envy you behave? First, you'll notice this. They act very friendly toward you. They say things like, I'm your biggest supporter, or I've always got your back. But their words don't match their actions. One of the most common behaviors is this. They belittle your achievements, your hard work, and your efforts. You take an important step in your life, you get a good job, you get a good score on an exam, you achieve a goal. You share this with excitement. But the person in front of you does everything they can to devalue this success. When you say you're hurt, they respond with, I speak my mind. A friend tells you the truth. That's why I'm like this. But what they are actually doing is this. Easing their own conscience by belittling your achievements. Another important sign, people who envy you never appreciate the things you do well. But whenever you make a mistake, even if you don't make a mistake, they immediately criticize you. When you are around them, you feel as if you are constantly on trial. There is criticism, but no appreciation. Another behavior is that they are constantly competitive. You have no such intention, but that person constantly compares you to themselves. You talk about something, and they immediately say they did it better. You share something nice, and they instantly take credit for it. And there's the more difficult part, passive-aggressive behavior. That is, they don't show their reaction openly. They speak insinuatingly, make sarcastic comments, and exclude you. When you ask, they say, no, you're just too sensitive. This is one of the most psychologically draining behaviors. They make themselves known even in crowded environments. If attention is directed towards you, they can't handle it. They immediately interrupt, try to draw attention to themselves, and turn the environment around. You know how they say, acting like the bride's sister? Exactly like that. Another sign is this. They talk behind your back. They appear to support you to your face, but when you're not around, they belittle your achievements and judge you. When you hear this from more than one person, you realize it's no coincidence. Sometimes they use phrases that seem like praise, but are actually full of criticism. They pretend to praise you, but are actually trying to undermine you. This is one of the clearest signs of hidden jealousy. Jealousy is an unhealthy coping mechanism for some people. The thought, if I can't be as successful as them, I'll bring them down, comes into play. That's why, when you experience a happy moment, they try to sabotage that happiness. Finally, I want to say this. There will always be people in your life who are jealous of you. Everyone has this feeling to some extent. The important thing is not to take their behavior personally and wear yourself down. Our goal is not to erase anyone from our lives. It's just to learn to protect ourselves. I'm also curious about this. Have you ever noticed yourself feeling jealous of someone? Why?